3-day weekend with two of my closest friends, and I'm here to give you a little look-see into the weekend because it was fun and we did so much.
First time in New York!
So much so that we walked about 26 miles in 3 days because there's so much to do, so much to see. So if you want to watch a little travel vlog, follow along. But if you're also planning a trip to New York yourself, here are some things I recommend, especially if you're going in the fall.
Starting before we even take off, woke up at like 4 something. Look at this beauty, ready for New York. Is this your first time? Yeah, it is. To New York? Is this yours? No. Oh my God. Yay! Welcome to New York. Hello.
If you're in New York, you are using primarily two modes of transportation, the subway and your legs. Now, of course, when you're flying in, you'll use a taxi or Uber. We actually use both. We use a taxi from the airport and an Uber bag, just depending on traffic and everything, but they were very comfortable on the prices. Pack some comfy but cute shoes because you will be walking everywhere and you'll want to. One, because the ambiance of New York is something that you're supposed to take in and feel like a natural and just see all the things coming to life. Two, you do not want to drive. It's nearly impossible to get around anywhere, and you're actually probably much quicker walking. But when you do need to go long distances, just take the subway. Make sure you're taking the right ones that will add.
Okay, you singers. I dare you to sing on the subway. You just sing any song by Aretha Franklin or Etta James.
Oh, yes, wait. Awesome. Yes.
Happy to report we got everywhere we needed to, except for one time we accidentally went to Brooklyn. Don't judge if you haven't been there yet, but if you follow the systems and wear the color code, it's pretty easy to get around. We stayed in Battery Park. It's near the very southern tip of New York. We had a great view of the ocean and the Statue of Liberty.
Lady Liberty, you Lady Liberty. From sea to shining sea. I forgot the words.
So what we would do is we would grab coffee in the morning and then hop straight on the subway to go to whichever point we wanted. The places we hung out the most were Greenwich Village, Upper East and West Side, Soho, and Chelsea. Well, there was 3 of us, which is very doable to do. And it's actually really fun when you have a small group, but we decided let's make sure that we all do like some of our highlights. One of mine was the Chelsea Flea Market. I love interior design and decorating, thrifting. There's something that you can't accomplish with just buying all new items. It feels way too modern. You need that lived in old world feel to be balanced in your home and create some character. So I love to thrift. So I did find some amazing things and they actually gave me inspiration, but I couldn't bring them back on my flight. Maybe one day I'll have just this big excuse to go there and buy a couple things. But it was neat seeing all the different vendors and really just the experience of like this New York robust way of finding things, and you get all different types of characters and personality, and I'm really glad we went.
Doing the highlight your window. What a view. Yeah. Some of the architecture is so interesting, and then some is interesting. Feels like we're somewhere else right now. Yeah.
I don't want any salad right now.
Now, Soho was one of my friend Sarah's favorite spots because it really does have so much to offer, and it feels like this millennial area. It's this modern element, but also this architectural integrity and this newness that also feels like it doesn't have to be perfect or pristine. You have a mom and pop restaurant or coffee shop next to a designer store, so you really get a blend of all of it, and it's almost like this elevated lifestyle that's a little bit eclectic and unpolished. Now, all of us love coffee, so we had to get coffee multiple times a day in multiple different areas. And in Soho, we went to Cafe de Leon, and it really brought such a warm and inviting vibe. It's part of a store and then part of an itsy bitsy tiny coffee shop. Like, you are right up on people's shoulders. The design is so great. It's like these warm woods and these green and white tiles and some amazing coffee and sandwiches. I had the best sandwiches I've had all weekend in multiple different spots in New York, and I think that's because of the Jewish delis. The caliber is so high, and I'm usually not a sandwich person. They were so good. Not connected, but similar name was Leon's Bagels. I'm in high school. Some of the shows I'd watch, you'd see New Yorkers always having a bagel in hand, and I thought, I need to have my own little moment like that.
10 years ago, I swore to myself I would not try an everything bagel until I was in New York. Here we are 10 years later.
Eating breakfast outside of Tiffany's. Don't have the tea. Okay, what are your thoughts? It reminds me of like a really good sourdough. Is it everything that you thought? Was it worth 10 years? I heard it first. Part of our hunt is to find Sarah a husband. Where else? He's out there.
We found a good luck spot. So,
Howdy ho! Any takers looking for a husband? Men. Oh, there's Sir. Over there. Sir.
wait, here we go. Let's see.
Sir.
Here we have Sarah. She loves a good bagel. She's a Converse girl. What do you like to do for fun?
I like to read books and drink coffee by myself.
Oh, your sign turned off.
Here, let me help you.
He's got to be able to see it. Okay.
I like
Sir. Is the sir coming?
This is
Just Sarah.
Oh no, on the left, on the left.
I think there's a lot of sushi right over there.
Honestly, I could go back there and hang out. I'm sure I'd last here.
Twins?
When it came to nightlife and eating, we found one of the cardinal rules of New York is you need to plan around your dinner reservations. It makes sense. There's so many people per capita and per square foot in New York. Obviously, even though they have an immense amount of amazing restaurants, everyone's going to want to eat at them. But like we lucked out. We were even praying that Lord lead us to the right restaurant. And I kid you not, it actually happened. It shows you have faith in even a trip to New York. We walk into a restaurant and they say, oh no, we have no availability. We say, okay, well, let's just like walk around and look at it. So we look, kind of figuring out where can we even try and exit. We're walking out and they say, oh wait, no, we have a table for you. And one just magically opened up. So that was a great moment.
Hot.
Really good.
No, an interesting part of Soho that I personally enjoyed because of my interest in architecture and design is the cast iron buildings. They mimic a European structure, but they have this new modern technology that creates it. And to some people, it's a less than, but I think it is really neat how they've encompassed something in a modern way, but they didn't let it go super modern. Sometimes when you have an overtly modern design of architecture, it's just flat and not very dimensioned or detailed. And so I appreciated seeing, the columns and the corbels and things like that on the front faces of these buildings, and it just being a little unexpected. I will say one of my favorite places is the Upper East or West Side. You have these beautiful stoops and townhome buildings that are just so inviting and cozy. And if I pictured myself living in New York, whether it be from movies or just my Pinterest board, that's what I imagine. You can walk all through beautiful Central Park, which is so gorgeous this time of year. The leaves falling, still hopping in green, but a hint of yellow and red. Come off of the bridge and walk onto Fifth Avenue or up to the Met. And it just feels like this warm, cozy, but beautiful experience. We did go into the Met and they had a Degas showing. It was such a treat to see some of his work and his famous sculptures. Also, they had Vincent van Gogh and some other famous notable works and just beautiful pieces. We also went to Ralph's Coffee. Now, this is probably more of a tourist location, but it is a coffee shop within Ralph Lauren. And it has like the white bistro tile and green accents throughout, but then they also have staple pink moments. So that was a photo op. We actually got pink coffee. I think the trick that we did to really getting the most out of our experience is we did an early flight Friday, hit the town running all through the night, did a full day Saturday, woke up early Sunday, again, made the most out of that day, and then had a late flight that night. And it wore us out, but it was worth it. And to me, if I go somewhere, I want to have a planned experience so I know where to go and see the things so I don't feel like I'm missing out, but at a pace that feels enjoyable and doable. Thanks for coming along with me to New York City. And if you're planning a trip, let me know what things that you're going to include in your itinerary or what things I should see like a pet.